Can you see me now?
We can
Yeah,
see it now.
there we are.
Yeah, dude.
We have a lot of James all of a sudden.
No, I'm welcoming myself. I actually just joined, so yeah. Wild James appears. Rah! So I can't see Kofi. Kofi, are you showing yourself here or not?
Yeah, I'm definitely here.
Yeah, he's exposed.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm pretty sure everyone else that's watching the screen can see me.
Well, I can't see you, so that makes me sad, but I'm happy everybody else can see you.
It might be because you're on a phone.
Yeah,
Me? I can see the other two people.
yeah.
Scroll over. Yeah.
I'm just really not that important, but it's okay.
You're only the host, you know.
I never said that.
Only the host.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna.
This money.
It's a reappear.
I'm trying it from my phone tonight, and I don't think I'm going to do this again because this is way less good than the other way. Yeah, we'll do it tonight this way.
You know, already introduced everyone. Well, actually, everyone's here. We haven't had our formal introductions. Like I said, you guys have known me. You know James, but Seth is in the building today. So Seth, go ahead and actually really fully introduce yourself.
Yeah,
and, let everybody know about you and kind of your specialties and what you do, my guy.
Okay, my name is Seth Knight. I've been a prop builder for a little over 5 years professionally. I've worked with James, and I've also worked with Freddie on some stuff too.
Yes, we've worked together. It's awesome.
It's been a blast. It's been an absolutely amazing journey doing this. I've been, like I said, been building props for about 5 years for all different types, from cosplay to theater to movies to sets. Like, we've really worked on all kinds of different stuff and built a lot of cool stuff. I don't know. I'm not good with intros.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Then we got Freddie.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Freddie?
I'm Freddie Ironbear from Ironbear and Props. Shout out to my dad. He made that for me. Awesome.
Nice.
I've been making props and costumes for the past 4 years. I actually went to my first convention as a professional builder with Seth. He was my first. He wore my first complete cosplay, and it's been a wild ride.
That was a blast.
Yeah, it was. Man, Asen. It's been a blast ever since. I love making costumes. I'm bad at intros too. I'm bad at intros too.
Yeah. Okay.
Team bad at intros here.
Right, like it's your time to shine. Your shining moment.
Well,
Listen, Freddie's always shining. Look at him. Look at that bald
This
head.
is true. This is true.
Shining.
Look at it
His
this way.
personality shines through.
Next week, I start streaming live on Twitch, and so I'm looking at this as practice. Because it's going to be a train wreck the first couple of times.
Well, I'm really happy to help you train wreck here tonight.
Anytime I come up, it's a train wreck, but it's at least I'm with my buddies, so it's
you said it, not us, but not disagreeing. I mean, agreeing. What?
Absolutely.
This is all I can say. Like, I met Freddie at C2E2, and literally I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm Freddie." He's like, "I'm Freddie." And he has like all types of fur on, and I'm like, "Dude, you have to be hot." He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be hot today because tomorrow I'm gonna be completely naked." And like I was like, "I like this guy already."
Accurate, 100% accurate, and that's just how I am every day. That's my.
I'm not so sure that's how like clothing works. That being hot and cold works, but
I mean, but when you're completely covered in fur and you're wearing chainmail,
you're
both hot and cold at the exact same time, and then the very next day, the only clothing that's covering you is a helmet and a loincloth that you made out of faux leather and sandals in front of like
everybody.
How many people were at C2E2 this year?
Thousands.
That many.
I think it was around like 40,000 or something.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
I was cold.
Yeah, it was also February too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
My photo shoot was outside too. Lord.
Oof.
Yeah, that I was like, yeah,
I got
okay.
good shots though. That's all that mattered.
Do it for the photo.
Do
Okay.
it.
He made F's.
F's in the chats.
That's awesome.
Yeah, can I get some F's in the chat?
So, since
Can
you
I?
guys are officially new to the show, of course, you guys, we have a lot of cool questions that we have to ask you guys.
Ooh, no. This was a trap.
Most certainly a trap. Yes.
Yes, Akbar, it's a trap.
Okay,
All right.
hit me.
Well, I guess my first question is going to be is what was your first costume in your first cosplay event you ever went to?
Oh.
Well, I already got my answer.
Go ahead.
My first cosplay that I wore or that I built for someone else.
That you actually wore, what like that really got you into like, this is really cool. I'm going to do this. And then obviously from what I keep hearing, at least, experiencing, is that that's where it starts, it seems like.
Well, actually, I think my first cosplay that I wore myself that I actually enjoyed and actually got hooked on me wearing it because my first intention was to build for other people.
Okay.
I think mine was my Atom Cats cosplay from Fallout 4.
That's cool.
I had a 3D printed pipe revolver, made some cool biker gang looking like the Fonz jacket, got fake blood all over me. I took that to my first PCA.
Yeah, I remember that. I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, and then you destroyed my costume because you wanted me to be a victim at your Resident Evil photo shoot.
I mean, you volunteered, and it looked awesome. So,
and then I still have that big red blood stain in the center of my stomach on that shirt. I'm just like, yeah, I gotta get rid of that. But yeah, that was my hook. I just one of the best moments was when a little girl stopped and asked to take my picture, or she stopped to ask if I could take a picture with her, and I was like, "Of course you can! Oh my god!" So that was a turning moment in my book, at least.
Nice.
I like how you're so excited. You're just standing up, like just jumping around your.
Well, I mean, I have like okay.
Do you have a stool or anything? I mean, you don't have to sit down. By all means, don't sit down. But you're just like getting there. I like it.
I have to stand up.
Very pretty.
My monitors for my setup are right here, and if I sit down, I'm yeah.
Awesome.
Plus, I have to keep getting up anyway, so I might as well just move the chair out of the way.
Makes sense. Makes sense. What's up, Peyton Seth? What let us know what was your first
What was my first cosplay?
I don't know this one. Tell me.
My first costume, the first con I wore to, I cosplayed a really horrible, very horrible Deadpool costume. It was so bad. It was definitely
how bad was it?
The only thing that was made was the mask, and the mask looked horrible. And then I was just wearing a bunch of like gym clothes that were red. It was really bad. It was really bad.
I love it. This gives me life.
It was pretty bad, but it was a lot of fun. I got to go to Gen Con down in Indianapolis. It was the first time that I even like interacted with like communities that were even like close to that large. Because like, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, so like I just didn't have, events like this that I really went to because I was like 18 at the time. So like I really didn't do a lot until I really started going to conventions, and so outside of concerts, I like there was no like large interactive events that I ever went to. And just from like just meeting all the people there that had the great creative positive attitudes, it's all I wanted. I just wanted to always go to conventions. I wanted to meet more people. I wanted just to be in that energy.
Nice. That's awesome. That's really cool.
I've already shared what my first costume ever was. I don't know.
No,
I mean, I've heard it 500 times.
I've heard it probably 3. I was probably not sober for most of them, so
I was about to say, if you guys know it, I'll keep it short. But I was probably my first costume at a convention. I'll just stop messing with my camera right now.
Yep.
My
Lisa,
first,
Lisa remembers the
Yeah.
Deadpool costume.
yeah, definitely. I remember your
Lisa
Deadpool
remembers everything.
for
It's
sure.
true. It's true.
Note to self: don't do anything stupid in front of Lisa.
Nope.
No, actually, she's fine. She'll remember it, but it's fine. I've done plenty of
Well,
stupid stuff.
the thing
her
is, you have to
secrets
do
are-
stupid stuff with Lisa, and then
Oh,
you get away with
yes.
everything.
Your
Which
secrets are
honestly
always
I've done a lot of too, right?
C2E2, prime example.
Yeah, that's it doesn't. I don't have to say which one because it was all the C2E2. Yeah. Yeah, no, my first costume I wore to a convention was Gears of War. I wore that.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
That was the first one I wore to a convention. So it was fun. It got me hooked. Everybody was like, "Hey, you want pictures and stuff like that?" I remember I think like it was Ron Ladow actually took a black and white photo of me and like posted it that night. I got home. We went for like a day trip, and I got home and like happened to look up, just pictures trying to see if anybody like taken a normal picture of me. You know how you do when you go to conventions and it's the first convention you ever been. And he hit like this awesome like professional black and white photo of me that still to this day is probably one of my favorite pictures just because I was like, holy shit, I can look like that. Like
It's the turning point.
that's a beautiful thing about cosplay photographers, which I'd like to get on the show too.
Yeah.
It's just like what they can do for you and the confidence and everything else that they can build for you and all that stuff. They capture it amazingly. But yeah, that was that.
Yeah, piggybacking on that point, the more and more I've been like paying attention to the community and things like that, finding new people on Instagram, like photographers can it seems like to a point make or break a costume.
Oh, absolutely, dude. The thing is, a costume can look pretty good, but if you have crap light or you're backlit or lots of other things, it's going to look really bad. And if you have a good photographer, it's going to look amazing. And I mean, I've had some costumes that looked and honestly, I've just like posed in front of a good photographer, and they've been some of my favorite pictures ever. They make all the difference.
Nice, yeah. I'm starting to notice that too. And then like the composite imagery and things like that, super cool. And
Absolutely.
coming from an artist and graphic person standpoint. So yeah,
Yep.
that's so true. That's so true. So fellas, I guess the next thing, we're running down the line. We got like 10 questions
Oh boy.
and some impromptus. Would you consider yourselves prop builders or cosplayers first, or makers or cosplayers first?
Or
Maker.
what?
I would definitely consider myself a maker first.
That's hilarious because I consider myself a cosplayer first. I mean, I do this a lot, but
I mean, it's for me. I literally build props, every day.
yeah. I mean, so do
So
I.
like, based on physical time spent on which one, I would have to. I can't not say that I'm a maker first because of that.
Yeah, that's a very good point for sure.
I mean, like it's also not like it's not like saying you can't consider yourself a cosplay first if you do build all the time. Like that's not what I'm saying, but just personally, that's how I evaluate that.
Yeah.
I consider myself more of a maker than a cosplayer. I will consider myself more of a cosplayer than a maker when I've made more cosplays than individual props or not a costume. Also because I'm better looking when I'm making stuff like this than when I'm in costume. Yeah, I consider myself a maker more than a cosplayer. I'm working my way towards trying to consider myself as a cosplayer.
Yeah, I guess that all makes sense. Can't really argue that at all. James,
We got some people in the chat.
we do
Oh, hi
got some-
Tim.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello there.
Like I said, I consider myself, first of all, I consider myself a cosplayer first, but definitely a maker for sure. Like when I'm building stuff, I definitely make more than I cosplay, absolutely. And I'm a costume prop maker mainly, but I still the heart's in the actual cosplay, right? Like I love getting in the costume.
Absolutely.
So that's what I mean by that.
Okay.
How about you, Kofi? Do you consider yourself a maker or a cosplayer?
Can I change my answer?
I consider myself a maker because I am a broadcaster.
Yes.
I am a content creator, so I am definitely a maker. And honestly, as I've told James this and Seth, you would get this too because I was so upset because I had ready to get all my Inspector Thano stuff ready.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit.
Yep. I was looking forward to that. I was looking forward to the genuine article. Like that was gonna be amazing.
Yeah, Freddie, I'm actually a Star Wars character, and so I've never got to cosplay it, and they just told me I have to do it from now on.
Yep.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to do it.
Yeah, it's not really a choice. I mean, up to James, what are you
doing? I've seen some wood here.
Yeah. It's a really easy costume, luckily for me. But so like now I'm trying to think of like because that has to be my debut, right? So
I mean, James is still trying to.
I had to think of something I can maybe go and build and be as afterwards. Probably be something from Magic the Gathering more than likely.
James is still trying to get me to do my Chris Farley cosplay, which isn't happening.
Oh,
it's not. I'm doing everything I can to get away from it. I've shaved my head. I'm losing weight. No,
doesn't matter. You do an amazing Chris Farley impression, and you're gonna have to do it every once in a while. Like all it takes is you just getting like a beer in you, and you're like, okay, cool, I'll do it. So you should definitely do it.
Anyway, working on.
I'll do it at Dragon Con. Okay, I'll even make.
It's perfect for Dragon Con. Absolutely.
Make a collapsible table that I can throw myself into.
Yes, I'll make you a collapsible table. I'll help you.
So Hades Industries has a question for Seth.
Yeah.
What are you working on back there, Seth?
I'm working on Zori Bliss's blaster from episode 9. We printed these up, finished them up, like sanded, filled. I'm doing a lot of detail painting, which there's a lot. This is gold leaf paint. That's all. It's just gonna take a long time to do. So I just figured while we're chatting, I'll do some work, get some stuff done. That's not loud because like sanding can be so loud when you're trying to stream. So figured I'd do something quiet while we're all chilling and hanging out.
Yeah, never mind me.
God damn it.
For no reason. Literally just drilling in the air, like
Let's start back up. Yep.
I gotta get it ready and get ready for cons for back up. Okay. I will I'll start. I got this makerspace thing that I heard about that I can work out of, so I better figure that out.
Yeah.
Probably should figure that out.
Yeah,
I know I can make you some costumes too.
I know a guy.
You know a few people. But with that being said, that actually goes into our next question is what is your favorite kind of build to do? What's been one of your favorites or something new that you're trying out that you're like, really want to get better at, or something that you just like, you know what, I like building this type whenever I get a chance.
You want to go first?
Ready?
You want to go first, Seth?
Sure. Yeah, I can go first on this one.
Freddie needs time to think, so just give him a minute.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the most I've enjoyed building, like as far as costumes go, is when there's just multiple different parts made different ways. Like it's not all one thing. It's not all foam. It's not all sewing. It's not all like found parts. And it's just like, piecing things together and then just detailing, it in just different ways. I like trying new things to make costumes too. Like I feel like it's a pretty boring thing for me to only build something that I've built before. Like if it's only foam, I'm not super interested in it, or if it's only finishing up something 3D printed, I'm not really interested in it. Like whenever I see like a build that I want to do for myself, it's mostly because I want to learn a new skill when I do this. So it's for me, and that's also a part of the costume too. Is I feel like I've accomplished something because I've done something that I hadn't done before. So I'm happier with it, even if it's not like even if it doesn't turn out as well as I wanted it to. I was able to learn and do new things and try new things and succeed at least in some bit because it's all there. But yeah, it's just doing different things. I guess I don't have a specific way I like building.
Yeah, that makes sense though too.
I'm going to piggyback off of Seth's answer because he's 100% correct. If you build the same thing over and over again, you kind of lose the lust for making stuff. Like it becomes more of an assembly line job rather than, oh, I put a lot of time and effort into this and I'm reaping the benefit for how much I learned to make this. And then you can use that and put it towards other builds and other costumes. I personally like making swords, like a lot. But one thing I want to learn how to do to get better is painting and sewing. God, sewing. I hate it. I need to get better at it because I suck at it.
Hey, that's the first step at being great at something, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to go ahead and change my answer from the past couple of times. I know I always say kit bashing, but I really, really, really like kit bashing.
Yeah, kit bashing.
While like being under a time crunch.
Oh.
Right? My favorite week of this entire year was easily the week before C2E2, where like shit was just flying everywhere, and we were all trying to make Mario Kart costumes, and I'm trying to make stuff for like a couple customers that we had stuff to do for there, and then also my other costumes and my Witcher costume and my wife's costume and a bunch of other stuff. So it wasn't just me building, but everybody was building, and like literally just
the
chaos
fever.
everywhere.
The fever of it all.
Yeah, like that. I would rather build in that environment at least for a little bit.
Con crunch. You are a nutcase.
I love the con crunch. Like it's super fun.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah. Well, also it's like you're gonna get it done. It's like a team project in college where you all waited till like the night before, and then you stay up all night making it happen, and at the end, it doesn't matter what it actually is. If it turns out okay, like you just feel so accomplished, right?
Yeah.
I just like that crunch.
That makes sense. I can understand that. Like more so like the adrenaline of getting it done and like the accomplishment of that. That's what drives you during that time.
Yeah, and also the fact that I can like, especially because I'm building for myself there, right? So it's not like I'm building for a customer where I want to make sure it's perfect and I want to make sure that like things look really, really good on it. I can make concessions and I can be like, you know what's good for the front of this Mario Kart thing? A tote that we just like chop off and zip tie on here. That'll be great. Let's paint it real quick. And it doesn't have to like stay on very well. We can always just zip tie it like when we get there, right? So like that kind of thing to me is when I'm talking about like really fun, that's fun. And I've also done the same kind of thing like when I'm working on movies where it's just like, oh, we just got to get this thing to like stay on this actor for a little while. Like that's kind of fun.
The adaptive obstacles.
Mainly because I just zip tie everything on everything, and that's just fun.
Yeah.
He does.
I seen it.
I've seen.
You have.
We've all seen it. James Wulfgar, zip tie fiend, indeed.
Anybody who hasn't met James in person that's watching this, if you need a zip tie for any reason at any time, he has one on him. Even if you run into him at a Starbucks or something.
It's true.
That's crazy. That is.
Zip tie is like right next to me right now. So.
Yeah. Well,
my point is proven.
Oh man, Freddie. Actually, something just popped in my head. You know what you should cosplay as next?
What's that?
Panthro from Thundercats.
Does he know?
I haven't seen Thundercats. Okay.
Get off the show now.
Yes.
Immediately. Just
Okay,
boot him.
I know you're
Kofi, you're
young.
running this, right? Just boot him.
I
Bye.
know
Bye.
you're young.
Hey, so Seth, we can talk to you, though.
We know you're young, but you've never.
I'll
seen
work on
Thundercats.
it. All right.
I'm disappointed.
I spent my childhood watching Japanese animation. All right.
Okay. We'll slightly let you get away with that.
We'll
but-
slightly
So, I
let
mean,
him.
so like, Freddie, if I were to yell like Thundercats, you would just sit there?
I mean, I would yell "ho."
Okay, good. All right, cool.
But he
You
was
at least
going to
know
say
that.
that anyway because
I don't
somebody
know
was
the like
walking by.
logistics of it. I know like the mainstream like I passed through. I mean, I know
Yeah,
like
it's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to explain to James.
I'm all right.
Actually, you
I've
do need to
explained a lot
explain.
to James. Okay.
You do have to explain to James. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that just popped in my head. Sorry, that was very random.
No, you're good.
Oh man, that's awesome. So okay, then and actually it's funny because I'm looking over to the side and we have people talking about something very similar, their favorite tools. And Michael's been on the show in a couple of different shows. He likes old tools that fix old stuff, but today he actually said he likes a stationary belt sander as one of his favorite things. It sounds like he's using on some projects. What are your guys' favorite tools to use there in the shop?
I've used this every single project for every single costume, prop, whatever, since the day I became a prop maker. This is my Dremel, and I love it very, very much.
I was about to say, like, the Dremel is probably the most versatile tool in a prop builder shop. Like,
I will probably put it in a case once it dies.
I was gonna ask,
shrine.
is that the first one? It
Yeah.
hasn't died yet?
Very first Dremel.
Nice. Nice.
The day it dies will be, I will mourn. I'll probably call into work.
I really like what's it? Oh, what's the name of the saw? Bandsaws. I really like bandsaws. They're really useful. Belt sanders are extremely useful. But a Dremel kind of does both of those. And
I'm telling you.
It's kind of this is even though mine's from 1934, so nothing's changed, Michael. Yeah. No, I would love to have like an air powered like rotary tool. That'd be dope. But Dremels are pretty damn good. I actually have a Black & Decker rotary tool that has survived everything that I've put it through.
Yeah, dude.
It's been going strong for like 3 years, and it's like a $20 or $30 rotary tool. And I don't know, I may have gotten like the only good one in the batch, but like it survived everything I've put it through. So yeah, I would have to say if I had to pick only one power tool, I'd pick a rotary tool like a Dremel. I'd have to do that.
No, this side. Yeah. Seth.
Yeah. So I'm gonna change my answer again, like I do every week.
Is this the James I'm going to eat my words and say it again?
No, actually, I'm just going to always change my answer. So this week's favorite tool,
pneumatics. Yeah.
right here, the
true.
impact drill. I love this thing. And
impacts are great.
or not everybody else, but a lot of people in the shop don't like the impact drill because they're like, "Hey, it's gonna like hurt things." Oh, dude, no way. Impact drill is where it's at.
Impact drills are awesome.
They're just amazing for all kinds of stuff, and also like putting everything up. If it's like relatively hard surfaces or wood, just give me the impact drill. Bow. It's fantastic. I love this thing.
Nice. Wulfgar Dalem, all the way from, I think he's from like New Zealand, isn't he? Or Australia?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. He said the Dremel is a multi-tool that does everything, just not quite as well as a dedicated tool does. But I guess that's kind of true.
That's about right.
The Swiss Army knives are power tools.
Right. Hold up. I also really like these things, which is the same kind of thing. But this is a like vibrator tool, so it's a Dremel Multimax
Oscillator, isn't it?
oscillating tool.
Standard, yeah.
Huh.
this thing cuts through all kinds of stuff, and you can also put a sanding bit on here and
Yeah.
sand stuff. So like we use this, or I use this a whole hell of a lot too.
So it like vibrates instead of spins. It like goes like this.
Yeah, so it does more like cutting,
It does
right?
like
It sands and it cuts. It doesn't really like, I guess, it's obviously not a rotary tool.
It doesn't spin.
Yeah, it doesn't spin. So there's just different uses for it. I use it to cut through things all the time. And then they make like these diamond plated blades, which are really nice. There's get all kinds of different attachments for it. But yeah, there's a lot of awesome tools.
And anybody that's watching right now, definitely feel free to chime in and ask the group any kind of questions that you might want to hear or learn, or if you have any funny stories you want to put in the chat, feel free to put those in there, and we'll make sure we get your comments, questions, and such on the screen.
I want to say something that's kind of interesting. My very first convention I ever went to was Gen Con 2014, and the cosplays that made me say wow and want to actually get into this was it actually turned out to be James and Seth and their Space Wolves.
Damn it, Seth, we messed up. we inspired that guy, and look what happened. Oh man, never mind.
We inspired too many people. Curses.
No, that's nice of you to say. That's really nice.
I appreciate
I'm
that.
not trying to compliment you. I'm just telling you facts.
Just facts.
Just facts. He
Just
didn't want to
straight
admit it.
facts.
He
You
didn't
can
want to
ask
admit
any
it.
of my buddies who was there with me. I'm like, holy shit! Did you see that? Holy crap! Like, that's where it got. Yeah, that's where it started. I'm like, I want to make that.
It was really fun to be Space Wolves, especially at Gen Con. People really, really liked that.
Jay Bright. I
And
love
we
the
had
hair.
7 of them too, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah, that's a
Jay Bryant says he loves his various tubes he uses for his hole punching.
like metal pipes and stuff like that. I know you can do some really cool stuff with
Yeah,
that.
I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And then also like just a leather punch is amazing for just making holes real quick.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see
I love
that.
Leather punch.
Hey, so Freddie, I don't know why you decided to share that, but hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Like out of the blue, like, you know what really is awesome?
No, I just sit there and I think about it all the time. I'm just like, huh. Well, that's cool.
That's great.
Metal and plastic tubes. Dope.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Metal and plastic tubes. Yeah,
Metal
nice.
and plastic tubes.
Yep.
That's super cool.
What else you got?
I actually have to step out for just a second. I'll be right back.
Boo. No. So Freddie, since like you said, you're somewhat kind of new to the building compared to these guys. What is something that for any kind of cosplayer or maker that's looking to get into this? Tell us something that that you wish you would have known before you got started, or on a project or something like that. That like something you're like, damn it, I could have did this, or I should have done this, and like because it would have been either easier or better. What would that be for you?
It's not more or less how I would have built something, or I wish I would have done something a certain way. What I wish I would have what I would have chosen to accept when I first started was the success of others shouldn't belittle your own.
Mm.
Like I would work hours on this costume and I would barely get any recognition for it. No one would ask to take my picture or anything like that. And then I'd see this other person getting showered with like photos and people wanting to take their picture and getting compliments out the ass. And I'm just sitting there and just looking, I'm like, was it even worth it? And coming back to it, you got to not have a mindset that just because someone else is successful doesn't mean that you're not. It just takes time. And with cosplay, you never know what's going to be, because like for the Witcher, for example, that had its its debut back, I think it was 2015. And if you saw Witcher cosplays in the past, in the like 3 years from then, it would have been, it's just Geralt. But as soon as the TV show came out, boom! And so everybody's wanting it. It's just don't. It's kind of hard to. What was it getting? Yeah. Um, just don't put so much pressure on yourself and get upset when you're not getting the results that you wanted from your build. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say.
That's some really, really just life advice, man. And that's good advice in this too. That's awesome.
I still have to tell myself every single day, just because someone else is getting a lot of recognition for their build doesn't mean that yours isn't just as good.
That's actually awesome advice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, along that same line, if you're looking at likes, then a lot of likes are made by other things, right? Like just if one page has 40,000 people who follow it and one page has 40 people who follow it, you're just going to get less likes, obviously. Right. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at likes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also maybe not do it for that, but some people want to, and they want to do it for that. That's fine too.
Yep.
Seth, what about you?
What was the question again?
The question was, what kind of advice would you give to a new cosplayer or maker about something that you wish you would have known when you got started?
What I would have wished. I probably would say find your thing. Right? It's very important that you try as much as you can, try as many different things as you can. But when you do find your thing, just do it and not be worried about if your thing is for everybody or not. If it's making you happy, then I mean, you just won, right? Like you just won.
Yeah.
If you find what makes you happy, just keep doing it as long as you're happy with it. Like it doesn't matter if it's not everybody's cup of tea. Like happiness is so hard to find. Like just try as much as you can. Always keep learning too. Always keep learning new things. Like I think the worst that I've ever felt is just when I know I haven't done anything new and I haven't learned anything new in a while. I think that's probably the worst I've ever felt is when I stopped learning stuff.
Yeah, kind of when you hit like a writer's block or something.
Yeah, it's just the same projects kind of going through. It's just find your thing. If you're happy, it doesn't really matter what other people think. Like it doesn't matter if they love it or dislike it. Just have fun. That's what we're all here doing.
Nice. That's awesome. That's another great answer. We have a Hades industry here, and he said, "I never focus on the numbers. I haven't looked at how many followers I have in at least 2 years on any platform. I don't do it for that, so it's freeing when you just don't look at it and just build for you, which is And he followed up with well said, Seth. Well said, Seth. So that's really cool. Both of those, I can understand that because it seems like everyone really has fun there anyway.
Oh yeah.
At most cons, it just it was.
You wouldn't go if you weren't.
Right. Well,
let's hope not. Yeah.
Well, some people probably do, but
I mean, some people work it.
Steve.
Yeah, some people work it.
Grumpy Cat as a person.
I mean, he has fun too.
Oh, he has a blast.
Oh yeah, he has a blast.
He just doesn't want you to know he's having fun.
Yeah.
He won't tell you.
All right, we have an awesome question from Michael Corey. His question is, what is everyone's holy grail prop, the prop that you want more than any, production made or replica?
Ooh. I mean, if it's production made, then I got it. That just changes.
Yeah, that's simple for me.
All right, what is it for you then, Kofi?
My production, like if it was a replica,
yeah,
or production prop. Oh, dude, I want the I want the hat from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Indiana Jones' actual hat.
Yeah, it'd be good.
That's like, I mean,
Yeah.
Indiana,
That's a really
awesome.
good answer. Yeah, that's a really good answer.
Either that or one of the guns from Starship Troopers.
Mm.
Yeah. I forget the name of those, but yeah, they were awesome.
Are they pulse rifles as well?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, we can make that for you though, right? Like hat.
I mean, I know a guy who just did cast runs for them. So
yeah, like there's plenty of people out there doing those.
Okay, I don't want that anymore then.
Right? Screen use is the real thing. I don't know. I feel like that's a really good question. I haven't thought about much, but the first thing that comes to my head is like probably the screen used like model of the Millennium Falcon. Probably.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be. I don't know where that is. It's probably in Lucas's like house right now, right?
Probably.
But that shit would be amazing because that's like my childhood, like come to life.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much a good answer.
I think mine would be the screen used axe that Gimli used in Fellowship of the Ring.
That's cool.
Nice.
I don't know if I have one, to be completely honest. Like, I mean, like a part of building props is like, yeah, if I want something, I'll just make it.
Yeah, that's why I want.
Now, if it was a video game, I want a functioning dubstep gun from Saints Row 4 that actually fires wubs that breaks glass. Please.
There you go.
I've always wanted to build it.
Yeah. You just can't make it break glass, right?
I'm going to try.
Well, there you go, right?
3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm doing a sound test. Half my neighborhood.
I don't know. Like,
the clock is ticking, Seth.
Let's say.
I'm just picking on you, Seth. I'm just joking.
Let's say Boba Fett's helmet. Production used Boba Fett's helmet. Because
let's be honest. Anything from Star Wars is pretty much awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything.
But like legitimately, like Boba Fett's screen used helmet would be like just epic, right? Yeah. Even if you didn't like Star Wars, having his helmet would just be like just awesome.
It'd just be clout at that point.
Yeah.
What's very funny about both those is, I mean, I haven't actually seen them up close, but I have seen a lot of the Star Wars props up close. They probably wouldn't look that good. Like you could probably have
they haven't survived because
people would be like, "Man, why'd you make that like that? Like this falling apart or something?" Like that's how props work, right? At least back in the day when they were making those too. But
well, yeah,
I mean, at least it wasn't latex because that just doesn't live. Like that just
not. It was probably like a actual some type of metal in the thing.
No, I think they vacuum formed it like the Stormtrooper armor was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they made like three different iterations of Boba. I could be wrong, but there was like a stark white, like full white that he was basically like the original idea was he was like a elite stormtrooper or something.
Yeah, that was the concept for him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he got the bounty hunter thing going, which I'm super happy. Like the white one looks all right, but it's not as epic. Yeah.
Well, hopefully your helmet wouldn't smell like the Sarlacc pit.
Hopefully, that'd be a little rough. I feel like if you got the screen used one, you just like pick it up and just sand falls out, and you're just like,
Right. Katie says, "I want to finish my Doom plasma rifle as soon as personal prop, but as a production prop made of London, a full scale ship from Destiny."
That'd be dope. It would be huge, but it'd be dope.
There you go. Just walk through it.
Yeah, that would.
The prop, really. That's like a house.
That's a big prop. That's one big prop, boys.
Yeah, that's let's just go ahead and see if we can make this thing fly and
right, it just takes off.
You know what other place? Whatever. I mean, just because I'm old, You know what other would be some really cool props to get stuff from? The show B. Do you guys ever see the show B on? You guys ever see B?
Yeah,
It was like sci-fi. It was like when
Yeah.
the aliens
Yeah.
like came down and like controlled the planet or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I saw it. Like I remember seeing it a lot.
They're pretty much
But-
lizards that ate babies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I have not.
Checks out.
Or Donald Trump. Excuse me, I said that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that also checks out.
I think that's actually where the lizard people like thing comes from. The the conspiracy theory. It's like V. It's that. Yeah. Is that it's and that was from like my childhood. So yeah, I'm not surprised that Freddie doesn't remember it.
Yeah. I would say anybody watching this, if you've never seen B, it is probably on Hulu or Netflix or somewhere, or NBC or Peacock or something, and you should definitely watch B. Like it's classic material.
Been a minute. I just saw like a couple episodes of it. I didn't see the whole thing.
Oh, you should watch the whole thing, and it has the Beastmaster Mark Singer in it too. So I mean, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah.
And they're all like, "Who's that?" I'm just showing my age, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, there's two. There's a remake.
Yeah,
I was thinking of the remake.
Yeah, there's two runs.
Yeah.
Okay, no, the remake was okay. I watched part of that and I just kind of lost interest. But the original one was classic.
Yeah, the first like mini series or whatever it was called was awesome. One of the props, like the plane prop, like would be pretty cool from that. Some stuff like that. That would be really cool. They had these.
Yeah, I like some of the Mad Max props too. Actually.
How
Yeah.
How do we forget Mad Max?
Yeah, I'm enjoying. I really enjoy the Fury Road movie. Oh, the other ones were good too, but Fury Road was fucking off the hook.
Yeah, Mad Max Fury Road was amazing.
I'm actually gonna watch it again because you brought it up.
I think the second one, Mad Max, was good. I don't think I watched the first one or the third one.
Oh, they're all good. Thunderdome?
Yeah,
Thunderdome's amazing.
Yeah, Thunderdome's awesome.
Yeah.
Plus that Tina Turner in it, and she has a theme song and everything.
Yeah, she does.
That's awesome.
All right, so on to the next question. You know, since you guys are both obviously builders and you guys have done some, custom work, how do you look at setting prices for your commissions and your projects, and which ones do you choose to do or not to do? How do you make that decision?
I still have no idea how to do it. I write up the estimate and I send it to 6 people. Does this look right?
This is why I don't respond to Freddie when he says me.
As far as setting prices go, it's really difficult. Like it's definitely not a simple thing. As far as like taking jobs go, it's one of those things that I usually only want to take a job that I'm like pretty damn confident I can deliver and deliver well on. Right? So like if it's not necessarily something that I've done, I'm not going to take a sewing commission because I don't want to waste a bunch of my time and then just have someone upset with what they get because I'm just not there yet with my skill on that. Right. So I'm not going to take every commission, and like a lot of stuff like that. Mechanically speaking, I do a lot of static stuff, so I don't like. It's not that I don't want to try new things, but I want to make sure I want to try new things when it's on my time, and not necessarily when it's on when I'm being paid to do this, right? So I try to stick with stuff that I at least have a 95% like I know how to build this from the start of what they're talking about. And then it's just a matter of figuring out, roughly how many hours, how many days it'll take to make, what's the material costs, what's the time frame and stuff too. Because time frame is also super important in this business. There's some people that are like, you know what, here's the money. Just send it to me, just let me know whenever it's done so I can, get it in the mail, and don't talk to you again until it comes. And then there's some people that are like, hey, I need this and I need it Thursday and it's Monday. What can you do for me? And it's just so many different types of clients and customers that it's really hard to quote because it's a project by project basis.
I luckily haven't had to deal with that yet. So the people who leave me alone when it comes to that, to the build, I usually update my client on my own. Usually every time I work on it, I send pictures. This is what I got done today. If they're like really, really, really adamant on like being nitpicky, I'll get the commission done as quickly and well as I can, but I will try not to work with them again.
I mean, there's definitely, like as far as like, the two sides of a commission, right? Two sides of a project.
Yeah.
Client and the provider. There's always, bad and good, but I would have to say that literally 9 times or even like 24 out of 25 times we've had good clients. Like there's some people that have actually been just a joy to work with. As far as it goes, because like it's like a lot of people come to us when we do like these random projects. It's their prop or it's their piece they really, really want, because I mean they're willing to pay us to make it. Like people aren't gonna come to a prop builder and be like, hey, I want this thing made, it's $300, I hate it.
Right, yeah, I guess
that doesn't happen. So so most of the time people are really happy that you're willing to actually make it for them, because there's a lot of people that just don't. There's a lot of people who are like, I sell what I sell, take it or leave it. I'm not dealing with the custom process at all.
Yep.
And so to find somebody that actually does custom route like relatively fast and well is really hard to hit that and actually find that out there. And like not every project is something that can be done. So like unfortunately that's also like one of the hardest parts is people being like, I really want this thing made. And it's just not a thing you can make. Like it's just that was CG. This doesn't work. This thing spins around in 15 different ways and you have a $500 budget. This isn't going to happen, unfortunately. I'm not an engineer. I can't design this to work.
Yep.
I can't spend the next 5 years to figure this out.
Video game physics don't exist, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you get to come up with really cool creative ways of doing it, and then Seth gets really mad at me because I'm like, dude, no, we're going to make this thing. It's going to be awesome. And then he's just like, but it doesn't work that way. I'm like, it's all right, man. We can make it work.
I'm the exact same way as Jay.
Yeah. No,
Material cost, templating. Yep. No, it's pretty important, especially if it's a air quote simple commission like a 3D print, like a 3D printed helmet or a 3D printed gun. Like, whether or not we have to model it or we pay somebody for the model for the project. Like there's there's costs that go into just templating. And like,
sure.
So that's also good to keep in mind, the prototyping that has to be done before you even can start working on it.
I will say this, that I actually just had an interview with somebody who was talking about like making an app for cosplay and like prop making and cosplay and everything like that, and he was trying to decide like what were the real challenges of giving quotes, and he had like, it was awesome to talk to him. I've done this for a long time, but he had like an entire flow chart of like the way everything works.
I mean, I'm glad somebody's doing it, but yeah.
So what was good is, I mean, he's making an app for it, which would be great if it comes out, if it does well. I'm very excited to see if the app actually works. But like some of the things I was telling him was like, if you have all of the customers like information the first time, that's so helpful. Because I want you to make this coat. And I'm like, well, I don't know how big you are, man. Like, are you like a 7 foot tall giant, or are you like a 4 foot tall other person? Like I have no idea, right? Like,
right. Oh yeah, having an app that like if as a client you fill out like all of your measurements and that's
Yeah.
your profile. So like
Yep.
what you don't have to take it every single time, or like, you know, you could just double check to see if everything's right.
And I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
we
that would be super dope.
That's
so
actually
we have
really
more.
cool idea.
What would be neat is if you actually like, I don't know, the app's a good idea, and I'm hoping it works out. And I probably shouldn't talk about it too much. He didn't make me sign an NDA or anything, but like, if you're out there watching, just forget you heard that. But it should be awesome. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes into coding stuff, and you guys definitely covered a lot of it. It's good.
Yeah, I think you guys kind of hit it just even on from my side, the standpoint of when you're creating stuff, like trying to get as much information from people is always the hardest thing.
And then keeping track of it too.
Yeah, and then yeah, once you do finally get all the information, because let's be honest, you never actually really do, unless it's something you can reference. But if you're building something like you said, I want this something that goes along with this, but it's not quite like mashup. Yeah, mash up cosplay products and stuff. Like, how do you guys go by like doing that? Because that's rough. It would seem.
Normally the way we deal with those is whenever somebody asks for one of those, I just ask for creative freedom on it, and luckily they usually are like, "Yeah, dude, you do good work, go for it."
That actually reminds me. I mean, it's a mashup, but it's not. It's along the lines of a mashup because they wanted the client wanted a couple ideas. But yeah, for mashups or anything original, like any original idea, almost always we need at least one picture to like even just to have a thought of what they want,
A
right?
general idea.
Yeah. So like if you can have a sketch, or if you want us to like, if you're dead serious about having this done, and you can give like rough things, like I say, like I want a rifle, but I want it to kind of look like this, but I don't want it to look exactly like this. And like sometimes we've done sketches for people. We've worked with what they like ideas they've had. They've sent us like a couple reference images, and we've created a new image for either from that by just like splicing or like redrawing a bunch. And we've worked through stuff like that. But mashups, some people are super ambitious with their mashups, so like it can get quite out of hand very fast.
Mm-hmm.
So
Freddie, it seems like you maybe had one of those. Your eyes popped up about people getting very ambitious about
I've been there. I haven't been there as much as they have, but I've been there before. It's just like when I was working on a commission that eventually fell through, but I spent a lot of time designing it, and she said just you have creative freedom. I'm like, okay. So I gave her 4 ideas of what I was thinking, and I'm like, all right, here's a layout of what it'll look like. Which one do you like the most? Well, just whatever you think is best. I'm like, come on, work with me here. I don't know what you want.
See, that's hilarious.
I'm working for you.
Like, yes.
Have an opinion. You're paying me to do this. Come on.
No, man, like just do your craft. They trust you. That's awesome. Make it happen, and it'll be awesome.
Two sides of the coin.
Work like that.
Yeah.
Two sides of the coin.
Yeah, two sides of the coin for sure. But yeah,
of the coin. Like yeah, no, literally, like the we did a Thor's hammer, like a Mjolnir. It was basically them just being like, here's a couple pictures, do your thing. And we were just like, okay. And we just made him a hammer.
Yeah. And that was fun. You did an awesome job designing.
That's one of my favorite projects of all time, just because somebody was like, here, you actually have the freedom. We actually trust you with the design. And like, I sent them a lot of preliminaries, right? Like, I didn't just be like, here's a finished prop. I hope you like it. Where's my money? Like, I didn't do that. But like, we kept them updated, and like it was one of my favorite projects, and they absolutely loved it. It was used in, did they produce that finally? Did that ever come out, that short film?
Yeah, it's in post-production.
Okay, it's in post-production. Okay.
Yeah, but they that movie, the director and everybody came by, and that's actually probably one of my favorite parts about commission. Yeah. You get to actually do that handoff in person, right? like you get to go and
like if it's an in-person thing.
Especially when they ogle all over it, and you're just like, oh, stop. No, keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so we got one of our last questions, and always our last question, at least from our list, is what's your fandom of choice and what would you make from it if you had the chance?
My fandom?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's hard to pick.
All right, I'll just go real quick because I've answered this before. It's definitely Star Wars. And what I would make from it, I don't know. That changes all the time, but
I mean, you've
I
made
think
so much.
the one I'd really like to make actually that's been on my list for a while is the smuggler from the MMO. He's got like a cowboy hat on, and I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's the Star Wars
Yeah.
MMO going on. It's pretty awesome. We already made the blasters for him, and I just like to make that whole entire costume. But yeah, that's it. That's what I have right now. Of course, my
Nice.
mind changes every day.
Holy crap, Seth, you got like really close all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, am I super close? Oh yeah, I'm just leaning back. And then surprise, I'm here.
I would have lost it if he tipped.
That's why I'm close enough to the wall. That's why you see me doing this. It's just me just keep myself up.
Oh, I keep forgetting you're tall.
Yeah, I'm don't remind me. What percentage of the finished price do you take before starting?
Oh yeah, there's a question here
Yeah.
from Wulfgar Daleman. What percentage of the finished price do you take before starting the work?
I take
What's the deposit?
I take 50 usually. It depends on how much. If
We
it's
take
like
70. I take 70 up front. Like we used to take 50, and then 50 doesn't cover. It covers like your materials sometimes and not other stuff. So we take 70. But that gets you to the point where we build the entire thing, and then it's 30% plus shipping afterward. So what's nice about that is then people do have a bit of a like they have you know they always do payment plans too. That's something else that when I talk to people, give people payment plans. Don't start on anything until you've hit that threshold. Obviously, give somebody that opportunity to give a payment plan. That's helpful.
Yeah, mistakes were made for that.
Yeah, the financial labyrinth of running your own business that's non-conventional is always difficult, but it's something that you do learn. Hopefully you learn before you make mistakes, but hopefully you also learn from your mistakes. But yeah, 70s a solid, because if you think of 70%, people are very dedicated to a project if they're willing to pay 70% of it.
Yeah.
And because like 50%, it's like, well, like 50% you can just in the back of your mind, you can just kind of be like, right? Like you can like there's a little bit of like it's half and half. But hopefully if you're getting to that point where they're doing 50% even, I think the 70 for us is mostly just to like speed along the process of seeing if people are really interested. But 50 is a minimum. 50 is a minimum.
No, I started at like 40, I think, just to get people when we were back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah.
Back in the day, we started at 40. We've increased it, and it's been good to go to 70. That's a pretty solid number for us, anyway. But yeah, it depends. It totally.
It also depends on you. Like if that's how your clients are rolling in with, like whatever, find your target that seems to be making your process more fluid.
Oh, hey, what's up, man? Just turning the light on. Okay, yeah.
Hi, Adam.
Yeah. So.
All right, back to fandom.
Fandoms. Oof. Freddie, do you got this one? Because I'm striking out again.
Man.
You're a Viking, Freddie. Just pick up Viking.
What about Thor from God of War?
Okay. Thank you for reminding me. Yes. Thor from God of War. You did not play the new God of War for the PS4. Highly recommend it. Complete the game, and there's a secret ending. Or since it's been out for 2 years, just look it up on YouTube. But Thor is there at the end of it, and it's got the correct Mjolnir in it, and it's just it got my jimmies rustled. Woo. So I'm very excited for God of War 5 because I know I get to combat my boy, and I really want to build it because it's a lot of fur. There's a lot of unnecessary stuff hanging off of his chest plate. It's obnoxious. I love every minute of it.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Thank you for reminding me, Seth.
See, that's why you liked our Space Wolves so much, because it was just obnoxious and there's random things hanging off of it and everything. It's just,
Yeah, it's the best.
Basically that same thing, yeah.
I like costumes that make you look at it and go, "What the hell? Why?"
Yeah, I actually would like to upgrade our Space Wolves too. Like we've talked about it. We've done a little bit
one
of
of these days.
redoing that would be good.
Can I fit in one, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we immediately like, yeah, dude, that's fine.
This was
Brought it up
was it specifically one prop or one costume?
It's just it's just a fandom. It's
okay.
It's a fandom. And then, like, what fandom would you dress up as, or a character in it, or a something that you would make out of it? That's your fandom.
I would have to say, since it was one of my like dream builds from when I first started doing this stuff that just didn't work at the time because I didn't have the skills, time, money to do it. I still would love to cosplay as Noble Six from Halo Reach. That would be pretty damn.
Just been playing
damn awesome.
Collection, boy. You giving ooh.
Yep. Noble Six, like not anything altered, like the straight up, like just the standard first cutscene you see him in. That or her, because it's not a defined character since you could pick either or. It's Noble Six, Halo Reach.
Yeah.
Can I help, please?
Yeah. I mean, we've got 3D printers, so now like it's super easy. It's easy mode making this shit now.
I don't know that it's super easy.
Be easy, but right, easier.
He says that it's super easy, and then I'm like, "Hey, dude, you want to sand this 3D print?" He's like, "Oh, I don't want to sand it."
That's all I do. That's all I do.
I know, but I'm just saying that's why we don't do things for ourselves as much. Because
is that why you won't come over, Seth? Because I have a plethora of things for you to sand.
Damn it! They found me out.
Joseph Kostick said Spat is building a Vincent from the Black Hole. These printers are amazing. That's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spat's a real talented person too. Yeah, like there's so much you can do with 3D printers. There's so much you can do without 3D printers. It's just a matter of like it is nice that you can size things in like a virtual environment and then 3D print them out. And you can also like sculpt in virtual environment and 3D print them out. So that's good.
I think Adam's in my basement working on shit. I
He
hear
probably
jazz.
is out here a minute ago.
Yeah, I hear loud jazz erupting from my basement.
Ah, well, that's definitely Adam because nobody else is going to play loud jazz.
Yeah.
Now, soft jazz, that could be anybody.
That could be anybody. Well, I'm still back and forth on a lot of mine. I think mine changes every week too. Like, now that I just talk with you guys more, I'm thinking like, okay, there's just so much stuff that could be built and could be made, and so I think a couple of weeks ago I wanted to. Actually, Michael Corey said earlier in the chat that he has completed his mask.
Yeah, I saw that.
Play, and I definitely want to do something with that, but I think this week after some other thought, if there was something else I could do. I think it would have to be from some kind of G.I. Joe thing. Maybe like maybe I'd go as like one of the like Zartan or some shit. Like I don't know. Well, I'd be a lot of paint for me. I'd have to talk to Freddie about how to paint my body all the way, but I'm sure we could figure that out.
Ask Seth's girlfriend.
Oh, that's right. That's right. She painted you. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Not her, not me. I just stood there.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, guys, that's the end of our questions for the day. And we'd like to thank you guys for coming on the shop, lowering the bar with Wulfgar. And did we get low enough tonight or no?
What was the question?
Michael Corey said we should do some I should do some Pentor.
Serpentor would be awesome.
Yep.
Just don't do Cobra Commander. Cobra Commander.
Overdone.
I mean, he's a great character, but yeah.
Cobra Commander is the worst character in, I think, cartoon history.
He
As much
just
as I love
messes everything up.
like, he's the worst character.
He's the worst character. You heard it here.
Yeah. Hey, also,
We have deemed it.
Kofi, before you were saying you could do something from Magic the Gathering, I would be down for that group. Like a really fucking elaborate, badass
Planeswalker group.
Planeswalkers, or just like pick some cool characters. Maybe like a Ravnica group or something would be awesome. I don't know. It's one of those things that like I need to make some time for, but I'd love to do some Magic the Gathering. I know my wife has talked about that with me too. They're just such cool characters.
Yeah, but there's a lot of sewing, so.
Oh yeah, I mean there's they're a full costume.
I don't know shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we have friends.
Oh,
Because
that's why we have Lisa.
So much either.
Help, Lisa,
And by not so much, I mean not at all.
Yeah.
And only zip ties. So
Well, see, that's why we need to make a woven zip tie armor for James, just for a costume.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
my hero character.
Maybe I could actually just go and like make armor out of like woven, like just a little patch or something, just to like call it out.
I don't want to see that.
That's it. Well, yeah, no, Magic the Gathering would be awesome. There's a few other fandoms that like I haven't touched much as far as cosplaying, and making like full stuff from, but I think Magic is definitely up there for me. And G.I. Joe was good. I was Flint and Lady J once, and that was good.
Ooh. That does make sense.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Well, all right, everybody. You guys want to give them your shout outs, tell them where they can find you and how you can help them build anything. And before we get out of here.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Iron Grizzly Props. You'd like to commission me, send me a message on either. In a couple weeks, you can find me over at Twitch at twitch.tv/Ironbear Armory, actually, because I am rebranding next week.
Awesome. You're gonna be Ironbear Armory, huh?
That's
yes, sir.
Cool.
I took the a page out of your book, James. You need to name your company after yourself.
Yeah, that's there you go. Ironbear Armory. And it doesn't have alliteration, but it sounds good together.
Yeah, it does.
Really good. It sounds really good.
Thank you. I made it myself.
Wait, what's that? Oh, thank you, Joseph. Are we doing?
Go ahead, Seth. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, you can. I'm Seth Knight. You can find me on Instagram primarily. I do have Facebook, but I don't post much at all there, other than memes. So if you want to get a hold of me, if you want to get a hold of me for business stuff, you can contact Wulfgar Weapons, preferably through Facebook, because we do a lot of our business, and like our business is usually Facebook oriented. If you want to commission us for anything, be sure to send us a couple pictures, time frame, budget, just so that we can kind of get stuff rolling. But yeah, if you want to see any of like the stuff that we make in the shop, or if I make in the shop, I post almost entirely on my Instagram prop pictures, costume pictures, stuff like that we make.
Yep. So he had that right in the fact that like we do most of our business or communications on Facebook, but I will try. I have been responding more to Instagram on our Wulfgar Weapons Instagram. But I mean, the best place to go find us is wulfgarweapons.com. or wulfgarprops.com. That's got like a form on there, and we put a bunch of information on there. And I'm James Wulfgar, and honestly, please send us messages if we have any questions. Send me. You can friend me on Facebook, and actually just send me questions there too. I'm on there a decent amount, and I check Facebook all the time. So if you have any questions or any concerns or any feedback for this, if you want to be on this as well, there's a lot of times that people will reach out, and that's how they are able to that's how I invite them on here too. So definitely let me know and hit us up.
Word, and I am Friday Kofi Austin. You can find me on Instagram at Friday Austin, or you can find it at GLMN Worldwide on Instagram as well. So once again, we'd like to thank you all for watching and joining us. We can't wait to see you guys in another week or so. You guys, see you later. Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.